to churn out that I'm gonna be taking a break from YouTube. And kind of today I went and just for you guys who've been watching for a while, this is going to be on a phone. It's going to be a shaky cam. But I went and finally was able to check and see about getting my computer fixed. And for what it'll cost, I might as well just buy a new one here pretty soon. So this is it. So basically, this is one of my favorite comics. A couple years ago, I did this thing where there was a tag video going around years ago. You can still find it. I think I have a playlist. It was my top 10 comics. And I didn't really realize what I had done, but when that, those tag videos had started, a lot of people were showing their most valuable comics. And I went through my collection and pulled out the stories that I thought were the best, and this was one of them. This has always been one of my favorite comics. Now, for anybody jumping on here, I'm going to go ahead and tell you this is going to be a very male-centric video. But if you want to stick around, maybe you'll understand the mind of a man a little bit better by reading this story. And for anybody else that's out there who want to stick around, maybe you'll kind of see what it's like, what goes through my head when I read a story, right? So I'll come over here, and this is from, I think around 2004, this 22 issue series came out by Will Pfeiffer. It's kind of cool, you know, to check it out if you want to get it. I would not have gotten into this series if I read the first four issues. They were so full of angst and the stories about suicide and stuff to where I just wanted to claw my eyes out. But basically, the whole concept is that as you see in the O, this is based on the dial H for hero. And what they did is that dial exists when you sit there and you do the letters HERO. Back in the day, you would dial them. I think in this, you push the buttons and spell hero, you get a different power every time. So in this one, it's basically about the dial entering people's lives, and they don't know that. You know, I think you spell hero again, or you do it backwards or something, and the powers go away. But I picked up right in the middle of the series. This is a one shot. These issues are all about a person getting affected by it. Probably like an issue, you know, four issue arcs, and they all come together at the end. You know, the people got to keep the powers, or the dial got away from them. But I found this issue, and I got it for $1 back in the day, and I grabbed it because it's Caveman. You throw a caveman, a Bigfoot, or a Sasquatch out, or anything like that, I'm in, right? So this was in my top 10 comics of all time because it's just a fantastic story. And I put it here. Yeah, this is working. I put a towel down, and it's helping with the lighting. So this is by Will Pfeiffer and someone who is this Kano. As you can see, it's from 2004. As we let this focus and stuff. First off, you know, we get the cover here that just, you know, that is right out of Stanley Kubrick's 2001. Let's not kid ourselves, right? Fantastic cover. And we open up in today's world. This would be Metropolis in 2004, and it's archaeologist. You're going to kind of see that this goes back and forth between certain years all the way to our caveman, you know, in prehistoric times. But they're in a cave underneath Metropolis, and they see a sunset that's been drawn into the cave. But what's amazing them is not that they found cave drawings, is that this is a perspective, and they get into a little bit of a history lesson in art. I think they said something like you didn't really see this kind of perspective till the 15th century, and they're missing this little dial, this caveman drawing. So all of a sudden we go way back to Germany, 50,000 years ago, the Great Leap Forward. We see our nomadic cavemen. You know, there's nothing that is the full essence of what we are, except right there where we were like hairless monkeys, you know, in evolution and all this stuff. And there's nothing, you know, more pure about us than at this time and stuff. That's why this stuff fascinates me. I don't feel like we've really come much further than that. We, you know, act more civilized and have bigger, better toys, but I feel like anything you want to figure out about people, you can go back and say, why would we act like that, especially back? So these are nomadic, you know, they're nomadic cavemen, hunter-gatherers, out in the snow, you know, and all this stuff. And they start scattering for some reason. We have one caveman that's kind of falling behind, and out of the sky and hits the back of the head of one of our cavemen is the hero dial. And everybody's just like, you know, making their noises and stuff. And it sits there and it just kind of burns. And finally one person is able to reach out and he touches it. He's not scared of it. They're all wondering what it is, and you can kind of tell that everybody else is already suspicious. And you go into that alpha male thought, man. Who do you think you are? What do you have there? A little bit of selfishness there. This guy's already special before he got the dial, and he's sitting there, he's playing with it, and you see the beeps there in the top corner. Let me move these books. And he's playing around with the dial, and everybody else is starting to notice they hear something, and they scream, and he's still beeping with it, and starts running with it. Turns into Super Caveman, is what happens, right? So we have our first potential superhero. And I don't know, the dial is just, they didn't show it, but what they heard was a raging mammoth. Everybody scatters and stuff, right? And of course, now that he has superpowers, he looks at it, flies up the air, cracks it in the skull, and kills it. Faster than a locomotive, better than a woolly mammoth. And then we get into London in 1897, and we're looking at a skull. We're looking at the bones of the mammoth that was killed, and they're wondering what could have, put that big hole, fist-sized hole in the mammoth's head. And they were talking about the mathematics of a meteor hitting it or something. So they're having a big feast while they're eating on the mammoth and stuff, and apparently they're surrounded by them. And it's not a mammoth coming at him. It's the mammoth that he killed. Excuse me. And all the women are cheering. Those were the cave women back at the tribe. Sorry. And there's a big feast. There's a big festival, and he's drawing. He's got a stick and he's starting to draw, and he has more intelligence. And of course, all the women are like into the alpha male, and they take him to the cave, and you see the men looking, and they're not happy at all about it. That's what's fantastic about this storytelling, man. A really good comic, you can follow the story without actually reading the dialogue and the words back in the day and stuff. And as simplistic, this is deceptively simple drawings by Kano, because it just effectively, everything is there you need to follow the story. I mean, it all just spells it out. There's not one wasted panel. So, it's not all about flash in your artwork. So we have the afterglow, and all the men come in, and they've had it. They had the bones, and he still has the dial that he's seen. I think they might have tried to steal it. I don't know. But he jumps up, and he's being run out by, he's by his clan, and he's just, look at that face. It's disbelief, and I don't think it's really supposed to be horror, man, but it's a betrayal. He's confused. And this is the movie. The story moves pretty quick, so he decides to leave. And I want you to look at this face. This is where the story needs to really just kind of stop in its tracks. He's leaving the only family he's ever known. Family doesn't stop at blood. He's leaving kids he's watched, grow up. He's leaving the people he's been around with his entire life, and there's like a betrayal. I think he was confused at first, but with his new super intelligence, he knows the deal. He knows what's going on. And this is where it's kind of like, it goes pretty quick, and they kind of can't believe that he left. I think they realized what they've done. Hey, Tat, what's going on, man? Just going through one of my favorite comics here. So this is the part that a lot of people look over and stuff, man. In today's times and over the years and stuff, divorce, anything, there's really, you don't really hear too much about how it actually affects someone. You know what I mean? It's this expectation of it's not about them and stuff like that. And I think this kind of overlooks, and this might be why this kind of like, if you've been through a divorce, breakup, family problems, anything like that, your friends betrayed you, the people that, I think this resonates. This is a story with the simple caveman really can resonate with somebody if you've been through some shit. So basically, he's flying around. He just took off flying in the air. He's probably gone further than he ever has. That's why he's clearing the mountains of Germany there, and he lands on the beach. And he just kind of looks out there at the sunset, and he's kind of contemplating. So he kind of draws what he thinks he looks like. He's probably looking at the reflection in the water is what I'm thinking. And it simply looks like he's going to leave the beach and fly over the ocean, see what's on the other side. But this symbolizes the unknown. His life has changed, and there's got to be some. He's going to go see what's over that horizon. You got to keep breathing, guys. You got to keep breathing when you go through some stuff. Um, you got to keep breathing and try to see what's over the horizon. It gets really hard sometimes. That's what's so fantastic about this story. You know, basically, we see him still sketching on cave walls and still being an artist. And in the cave he's in, apparently saber-toothed tiger lived in there, and he's got fight. This isn't just about a caveman, going to go out there and take care of some saber-toothed tiger that's going to kill him. It's that he's got that fight in life. He's gone over that horizon and he saw the new animals out here he may have never seen before, new experiences, things he's never seen, and he's kept breathing, and there he is. True that. That's right, man. So he gets in there, and you see a feast and new clothes and stuff. He took care of it. So he gets on over here, and we're back to London in 1909, and we see some more archaeologists or scientists or something in a museum, and now they're trying to figure out what put those finger-sized holes in all the skulls and stuff. What could pierce each? Maybe they fought each other. Maybe their teeth pierced each other and stuff. And then the guy goes, I think I saw a mammoth with a hole in its head one time. So he's leaving remnants of his history, man. He's leaving things behind without even knowing it that he's brought mystery to the world. He's kind of being remembered without them knowing it. So basically he flies off and he continues, and you can see we have more of a landscape, new mountains, new forests to explore. He just keeps going, man. It's kind of hard to settle down. And then we have a fantastic montage of his life. You can see him going across the North America with the buffalo and the Grand Canyons, and he goes back over the sea and some tropical islands and fights a bear out in the wilderness. Gets worship, never really fitting in anywhere. He's really different than all these other tribes, man. He ate the cat. That's right, man. He ate the cat. I hear that's good. I like cat. Just saying. So anyway, we see we see him in the back here going to another cave, and we see all the drawings he's done in this cave. He's still doing it with his finger, and if you pay attention, it's a very old finger. Kind of settled down a little bit, and the montage we just saw, he started kind of doing his life. So I want to assume this might be Metropolis at the beginning of the book, And now we see him draw himself, and he's older. So you Northern Monkey, cool. They're out there talking. And we see that he's at the end of his life. Now, I want you to look at this face, man. I want you to look at the face. We chill out as we get older, and this guy's life did not go the way he thought it was going to go. And that's the only thing we can really wish for, is that did we live the kind of life where we went out and did what we wanted to do? Did we overcome things that, we had to tell ourselves just to keep breathing to get over that horizon and stuff? And look at that peace. Look at that peace. He's happy. Happy. A lonely life, but he's happy. Now, I'll bring that up because there's people who have read this book over the years and told me that they thought it was a sad story because we're about to the end here. And I get what they're saying, but I think it's all about perspective and how you can relate to the story. So he goes out, and we still find out that he has the hero dial. He looks up to the sky, he grabs it, and he sends it back out into space. There's no more questions with it. And this actually plays into the whole series. When you'll see how this ties into the entire series if you decide to pick it up. That actually is a pivotal moment and stuff. And look at the peace in his face, and he's looking up into the sky, and we think he's looking at the dial. I mean, look at this. Look at the eye line that the artist Kano put in there, which was fantastic, but we've been deceived. So as he flies straight up, what do we see behind him? The moon. So he's gone around the world. He's tried to see everything. He's drawn cave drawings. I'm always happy when I have a full tummy, full of cat. And we get back to Metropolis now, and they're still looking at the cave drawings. We've come full circle, and they're starting to figure out that this caveman, he got around, and apparently he was trying to see the world. But then they start realizing that, well, what happened to the old man? There's no skeleton. There's no sign of his death. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? So he went I'll show you in just a minute. I'll show you what comic this is. And he went somewhere even after all that. There's something he wanted to see. So all of a sudden you have these two old men, and that's significant because they're starting to relate to these cave drawings they're seeing. They understand what this man was doing. And I'll show the cover here in a minute, man. Really, in 79. But that's what I'm trying to say. We all have that understanding about when you went through some shit and you can get into the mind of each other and stuff, right? So where did he go? Where did our caveman go? So we get up here and we see more cave drawings. We think that's the Earth. And then we start seeing the craters as we pan back. And we realize we're on the moon. And then we see the skeleton. And on the last page, we get up here and he finally saw everything there was to see on that planet Earth. And he was able to draw it down and pass away. Okay. Now, as for what book this is Hero number 11. I'm not sure what more to tell you. It came out in 2004 by Pfeiffer and Kano. It was 22 issues. So maybe you can Google Will Pfeiffer and Pfeifer. Get his bibliography, man. So, guys, I just wanted to share that book with you. Thanks for the guys that hung in here. I swear, I kind of dig it. I dig how a lot of you guys really do jump on here and really watch this stuff. May do a few more of these. Like I said, I've got a couple videos I want to get out of here, out of my head, and I got some things to do coming up. And all right, man, might do another one, man. Thanks for why you popped in here, man. This is good numbers, and thanks for the thumbs up. This thing re-uploads, man. Give me a thumbs up and go ahead and sub, man. I've got quite a library. Later, guys.